Hello, this is Deanna from NAMI Southwest Washington. This is going to be a little tutorial about how to schedule a meeting, especially reoccurring meetings such as support groups. So when we are going to schedule something, we want to be on the web page for Zoom. It gives you a lot more options than just the Zoom app does. So we're going to use, we'll use Zoom 4 right now. So when we log in, it's going to bring up our profile. We don't really care about that right now. We're going to go over here to meetings on the left side. There's a button up here called schedule a meeting. You can certainly do that too. I'm going to schedule a new meeting. So what I've got here is the topic or the title of my support group, and how we're titling them right now is we are using the support group title first. So this is going to be family support, and I'm going to say it's for NAMI Southwest Washington at the end. That's a description. You can put whatever you want in here. For adults who have a loved one with a mental health diagnosis or challenges. So we want to make sure that the when is your first date? We're going to start this on April 9th. What time? We said it was going to be at 2 o'clock, 2 p.m., and it's 1.5 hours until 3:30. So this is a recurring meeting. We're going to click this box and this is going to pop up. So how often are we recurring? It's going to be every week. So we want to make sure, yep, once a week. And when are we going to end that date? Let's go out a few months here. We'll go by August 31st. Now this, it automatically populates to whatever 7 occurrences are from your start date. So this is the most important part right here. Registration is required. Absolutely. This is how we get how many people are coming to our groups. And also, down the line, it's going to be very important because this is how we make sure people are still safe for crisis situations, or if they just kind of disappear and you don't know what's going on, checking in with them if you want to, if you need to. So there are 3 options here. The attendee can register once and then join the meeting at any time during any of the occurrences. The attendee can register for each occurrence to attend, so they have to register each time the group runs. Or they can register once and then choose 1 or more occurrences to attend. We use the second one. Attendees need to register for each occurrence. That way we can see who's coming and how many times they're coming to the groups. So we use this because if someone is registering and it seems like they didn't show up for the meeting, then I can get a hold of them and say, hey, I realize that you registered for the meeting. Do you need any help getting onto Zoom? Is there anything I can do for you, etc., etc. Also, if people's information changes, that's also good to have, just in case. So we're not going to require a meeting password for our family support group, since anybody can come as long as they're an adult with a loved one. We do want our host video to be on, yes, and our participant video to be on. In the audio, we can use both the computer audio or the telephone. If someone doesn't have audio hooked up to their computer, then they can just call in and use that as audio. Now these meeting options are very important. The enable join before host. We do not want to do that. And the reason is because that would mean that even if you as the host do not start the meeting, people can still be in the meeting and saying things and doing things that you have no control over. So you want to make sure that this confidentiality is true and that you are in charge of the meeting. So we're not going to click this button. You can have participants muted as soon as they enter. We don't really care about this. We haven't been using it as often. You can enable a waiting room. Now this causes the need to approve everyone before they can enter the meeting. Now this would be used probably for a board meeting or a staff meeting, something that you don't want everybody in on. If you feel that you need to have the control to approve everyone who comes into the meeting, I would check this box. Normally we don't use it though. Only authenticated users can join. This means that they have to have a Zoom profile. Most of our participants are not going to have a Zoom profile, so don't worry about this option. You can also record the meeting automatically. Do not do this for a support meeting. That will break the confidentiality clause. You can record a meeting, for instance, if you are doing something like a board meeting and you know that a board member cannot be there, you can send them the recorded meeting, anything like that. In order to have an alternative host, you have to have someone who has a Zoom profile. Now, you can have someone, if they have their own profile, sure, absolutely, you can send it to them. But for instance here, if I wanted to send it to my executive director and I put this in, it will tell you, nope, sorry, this person is not associated with a Zoom account. So you won't need to add alternative hosts. All right, so we've done everything for our meeting. We're going to save this. All right, so here's the most important part after you create a meeting. Please, 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 if you forget anything else, please do this. Please add to Google Calendar. Now, this is going to add it to a Google Calendar that you log into. You are going to need to be able to, or have already logged into, the Zoom Gmail account that is the same as the account that you're on. So right here in the top right corner, I see this little profile gray picture, and I can click it and I can remind myself, okay, yes, I'm in Zoom 4. So when I click this Google Calendar here, it's going to say, well, where do you want this to go to? Well, I know I'm in Zoom 4, so I'm going to put it on the Zoom 4 Gmail calendar. Yes, I do want to allow Zoom to access my events. Now, immediately, it takes you to your personal Gmail account if you have one. It's very frustrating and annoying, I know. So you can go from that, you can switch it by switching to here, your personal account. You can switch to whichever Zoom calendar you want to do. So I switched here to the Zoom 4 account, and I'm going to look for my meeting. So this is this week. It's Tuesday, March 31st. So here's our family support group that we've scheduled. It's from 2 to 3:30. Okay, awesome. Now we know. So this shows NAMI Washington when all of these meetings are. This is super important because we need everybody to be on the same page of when meetings are so that we can do our best to provide meeting times for everybody in Washington. Because everything right now is going to be online, it's very important we're all on the same page. Also, when you're scheduling a meeting and you realize, oh, wait, there might be another meeting at this time, that's another good way to see if you are going to be scheduling over someone else. All right, so this is our family support group, NAMI Southwest Washington. Great, it's going to start April 9th, every week on Thursday. Okay. So the next information little video here is going to be about these registration options. So you can follow the link in the description below, and we will talk about all the registration information that's there. Thanks.